All right, y'all. We have the king on the line right now. One of the people responsible for having the fire event pop off in Bakersfield last weekend, the mass destruction event for P&R, man. The event was crazy. They just dropped their first battle, Ron Compton versus Rubba Tung. Y'all go ahead and check that battle out, man. Show some love. We got the king Afta on the line. What's going on with you, fam?
Man, what's good with y'all, man? I appreciate y'all, man. Putting on this the Blog Talk radio show, you know what I mean, discussing battle rap on a platform where everybody can kind of give their 2 cents, man. It's dope. I appreciate that for real.
Oh, man, no problem, man. Definitely appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, taking the time out, man, calling up. You know, a lot of things been happening, a lot of things been said. Now, you know, definitely glad to have you on here to go ahead and talk about everything, as well as breaking down the entire P&R event that just took place in Bakersfield last week.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, pretty much, the whole event was pretty much put together by me, with the exception of the Real Deal battle. That was booked by QVD, the owner of he runs the 916 division. He booked that battle. Otherwise than that, I pretty much put the whole card together. And I mean, I can pretty much answer any questions that anybody has, clarify anything that's unclear, as well as provide facts that already weren't discussed. You know, maybe that Rubba didn't really even know about, or that Ron just didn't think to mention.
Okay. Yeah, so, you know, go ahead and get right into it. Obviously, you guys dropped the battle yesterday, Ron Compton versus Rubba Tung. Definitely a nice battle and everything. What's the reaction been so far to the battle?
From what I've seen is like it's kind of divided as far as not so much who the winner is, but as far as like why they felt the battle went down the way it did. I see a lot of people saying that it was a biased crowd or that Rubba was at home. But I mean, to truth be told, Ron Compton's cousin was one of the people who helped me put on the event. Ron Compton had family as well as his girl in the venue. There were just as many people in there that knew Ron as Rubba Tung. And I've also heard people say, well, you know, it's the P&R Battle League and Rubba Tung, you know what I mean, he's well known in P&R. But this is what people got to understand about Bakersfield. Like, they know the Arsenals. They know the Loaded Lux, the Murder Mooks, the Daylights. They probably don't even know, like, the Sharones and, like, the Cortezes. Like, I'm talking about you have to be extremely well known to be known out here in Bakersfield, like, as far as battle rap goes, because we're behind on everything out here, for the most part. So it's not like Rubba Tung just had mad fans in the building, because I haven't even been a part of Power and Respect long enough for Bakersfield to fuck with Rubba Tung like that. You feel me?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, and obviously it's going to come down to what circle you're talking to, because if you go in both of their circles are people who support their battles, you'll get mixed reviews from both people. As far as what people believe, as far as who won the battle, as far as whose side they're going to take and everything, I feel that one thing that kind of got lost in the whole entire situation with, you know, the back and forth and all the debates about what was said and what wasn't said, what got lost was the actual battle, because for the time, I think it was about a good week, all it was just talk. Nobody, if you weren't at the event, you really didn't know. So you were picking a side before the battle even happened.
And that's really what got me the most hot. That's what got me the most upset about it is, like, Ron Compton is my partner outside of battle rap. I've known Ron Compton for over a decade, for 10 years, before he even started battle rap. And I've been to Ron Compton's family's house, been to his, you know what I mean, block in Compton. Like, that's my fam. So that's really why it made me a little more upset that he did that, because he brought me out to the Riot, L.A., and I battled his partner from the Mafia, L.I. the Mayor. So naturally, that was a home game, you know what I mean, for L.I., and, you know what I mean, they gassed some simple jokes from him, and they gave me mostly crickets. They gave me a few reactions, and even, Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to put my dude out there. I don't know if he wants me to go say this, but even cats that they respect, like the Spot, hit me up afterwards like, yo, fam, like they heavy slept on you. You won that battle. But I didn't feel the need, you feel me, to go online because that's their platform that they're trying to build. I'm not going to go on there and say, yo, the Riot did me dirty. You know what I mean? Like their crowd wasn't fucking with me. They slept on all my bars, and they just don't know. They don't get bars. And that's really what had me the most upset, because it's like you're tarnishing my platform that I'm building out here in the town. And no, they aren't the most educated on battle rap, but they know what bars are. Like, we're not ignorant out here. We know what bars are. And if you pay attention, they weren't going exactly bananas for Rubba the whole battle. They only reacted to the things that he put the extra effort in to get reaction for.
So I think, like, one thing that I want to make sure, because a lot of people, there are some people who probably didn't even realize there was any talk or any live feeds or comments made after the battle, and they probably haven't seen the battle yet. So I want to make sure I say is about that situation. Number one, whether they intended to do it or not, they actually, if you want to call it a blessing in disguise, gave that battle a lot of promo, because a lot of people who probably would have never clicked on that battle have clicked on it now just because of everything that transpired. So I don't know if that was intentional, if anybody had that in mind, but that actually was something I got a lot of feedback for. Was like, hey, I wasn't looking forward to this battle, but hey, can you send me the link to it, because, you know, I want to watch this now. So I feel like that's one thing that was a positive out of it. But the other thing, too, I said this to Rubba last night. Shout out to him. Ron is somebody who, unlike a lot of battlers, travels a lot. So when he was saying the certain things about the crowd, how he felt everything was going, it's just my personal opinion of knowing him. I had to give him benefit of the doubt to say, okay, maybe this was a different situation. Now, I won't know for sure until the footage came out, which it dropped yesterday, and I've had a chance to go ahead and look at it for myself. But beforehand, it was like, okay, I give the benefit of the doubt because I know that you travel. A lot of battle rappers that don't travel and then they get in a hostile environment or something they perceive to be hostile, normally it's because they get a lot of love on their home league, and then when they go outside the nest for the first time and they experience a real crowd that's not really going to give you all the love just because of your name, then it becomes an issue. And so for me, I always wanted to make sure I frame it the right way, where it's like, okay, I give him the benefit of the doubt based on work put in. Now, when the footage comes out, now everybody can gain their own interpretation of what they felt the battle looked like. So, you know, I don't want anybody to just take it like it's like, oh, we're going to bash Rubba, or we're going to bash Ron, or we're going to bash them, you know, as like a unit. It's like, nah, like they had their battle. Some things happened. You know, emotions were high. And now we're at the point now where it's like, okay, the finished product is we have a battle out here that, regardless if it was intended or not, was promo to the point where a lot of people now are wanting to watch it. A lot more people, I should say.
Yeah, no, I respect all that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was the intent when he went live, you know what I mean, or anybody's intent by the back and forth. I really don't feel, I mean, I can't say it was or it wasn't because I have no idea. It wasn't discussed. But I will say that I know what you're talking about, because this is another issue that I have. I feel like a lot of those dudes from that Western Conference movement want to overlook a lot of people that are just as worthy of being pushed as the people that they push, but they don't even want to take the time to check them out. Like you said, the people weren't even interested in watching that before that, but that's what it took for them to even want to go check it out. You know what I mean? Not knowing that both of these dudes could spit some dope bars. You feel me? Like, I've been battling on the road my whole career. Like, I started out, my very first battle was in Hollywood, battling in a league called The Jungle, the female, in which Conceited and Luciano Crack wrote her bars for me. Wrote her bars coming at me, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't really respect people's excuses, because even in that scenario, my first battle ever, I still was able to write some type of material that gained crowd reaction, even though the people who were putting on the event tried to set me up. You feel me? So when people start giving excuses for crowds this, crowds that, like, I just say just battle, yo. Like, just battle and get your bars off. Like, I was more disappointed that Ron didn't drop his third round for his supporters to go back and watch. Because if you know what I mean, clearly, like they did, they went back and watched the footage, and they were like, yo, those bars were slept on. Those bars were slept on. Like, you don't got to go shit on the people who are paying to come, you know what I mean, to come watch you, that are supporting the culture that we're trying to benefit off of. All of us are trying to make a name for ourselves and benefit off this culture, and those crowds are the people that are paying to watch us. So I understand crowds get criticized, this and that, but it's like, it's not like they didn't let him get his bars off and they started interrupting him. They stayed quiet and let him spit as much as he wanted to spit.
Yeah, I think that was because in my history, I've been watching Ron since pretty much his first battle. So from what I've seen of him, I've never seen that in particular happen, where
you haven't?
He was in a feeling about a battle or about a crowd or reaction.
Oh yeah,
or anything.
yeah,
so,
no, never. Yeah, no, but I mean,
so
I've
me,
never
was
seen
like,
him in his feelings like that. I've never seen him in his feelings like that, but I have seen him, like, if you go watch, I literally went back and watched this battle twice in the last couple of days just because of all this fiasco, you know what I mean? Like, if you go watch Ron Compton versus Billy Boondocks, Ron Compton's third round ends up hitting pretty hard, but his first two rounds, the crowd is crickets the whole time, and that's in L.A., you know what I mean? So it's not like this is the first time Ron Compton has had bars go over a crowd's head or them not get it. And for them to make it seem like this Bakersfield crowd was out of pocket for it, that's what really set me off and got me like, yo, y'all hold on. Like, go peep this other footage. This ain't, you know what I mean? Not even throwing shade at my dude. His style is unorthodox. And especially to a crowd that's not 100% seasoned to battle rap, like, you can't get mad at him, bro. Just get your bars off.
Yeah, I think like that situation, I feel like it's just gonna be like a learning experience. Like, hey, it happened. It was handled away. You probably would do it differently if you can go back, but it is out there. It did happen. You know what I'm saying? The footage is out there now. So the only thing to do from it now is just to build. And so I feel like going forward, I feel like all parties involved will probably be a lot better for the experience versus the other way around. So I definitely want to, salute you, P&R, for putting on that crazy event. I heard a lot of great things about the event in totality. I heard a lot of great things, especially about your battle versus Real Deal. Heard a lot of great things about Patron, his battle that he had. I heard a lot of, dope things about it. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing all the footage and everything come out. And, definitely looking forward to myself getting to it.
Yeah, I want to talk about some of those I want to talk about some of those other battles as well, like, because they're like the first. Let's start with the pit battles. Every pit battler was pretty much new to P&R, never had battled on the stage, and they were all from Bakersfield. Now this is probably where Ron had an issue, because their bars and performance were not like a polished MC that's used to doing it, but at the same time, some of them still brought bars that, that they know the format, they understand punchlines and whatnot, and they just really need the polishing. So they still got reaction, and there were, I'd say, probably like 2 or 3 people in the building as far as fans that were like reacting unnecessarily. Like, you're going to hear, especially in the pit battles, you're going to see like 1 or 2 guys when the rest of the crowd is silent going, oh, like here and there. You know what I mean? So that's why I understand there was some unseasoned fans in there. Like my boy Krite versus Genesis was the first pit battle, and Krite, I had heard his music before, never seen him in the battle format, and I think he did really well. I think he still has a lot to learn, but he had lines. I wouldn't say necessarily punches, but he had lines that just hit. You know what I mean? Some were funny and some were punches. I think he needs to get a little bit more structured with his setups and whatnot. But for his first ever tryout battle on a league like that, it was a good look. The next two tryout battlers, both of them were super quiet. Prison of Flesh, it wasn't his first time battling, but it was his first time on Power and Respect, I believe, and he's actually got bars. He's got some not so much jokes. He tries to joke, but it's not too funny. But he's got some punches, and they can hit. But he's got to develop a delivery. The other dude, Charlie Hammerhead, has an even better pen, but he's got the worst delivery I've ever heard in my life. Like, it's that bad.
So you said the delivery is not good at all?
At all, bro. When the footage drops, he might go down as the worst delivery in the history of battle rap. Like, it's bad. Like, I don't know if he has like a disorder or if he was just super nervous, but it's like it almost sounded like he was like almost like a Tourette's, someone with Tourette's, like shaking and super, super low, like almost rapping under his breath. It was bad. That was probably the worst performance of the event. But after that, this is another battle I wanted to get into, which was the Requiem versus Edmund Aston for the $4,000 battle.
Yes, I heard a lot about this one.
Yes. Now, Ron said he felt like Requiem got jerked in the battle. Now, first round, it was close, but I would say Edmund probably edged it. Second round, Requiem clearly got it in the building on he got more reaction from the crowd, and his bars were better in the second round. Third round, Requiem spent his whole round addressing issues with the league owners and the way they run the league, which you got to understand, Bakersfield people are going to have no clue what he's talking about. No clue. Like, I understand he felt he wanted to get that off his chest, but when you're putting $4,000 on the line, you can't afford to waste a round getting your issue off your chest towards the league, because these people, and you're not, first of all, the people that are from the league ain't going to react, and then the crowd ain't going to know what you're talking about. So I really felt like Edmund sacrificed, not Edmund, but Requiem, he sacrificed that whole third round, just to get his issue off his chest, and that's what decided the battle. As far as the judges go, the judges were a real deal, and then the other two judges were Ron Compton's cousins. So if anything, they would have been more biased for Requiem than they would have Edmund Aston. You feel me?
Okay.
Not so much real deal, but for sure Ron Compton's cousins we were all at the hotels. Requiem was chilling with Ron Compton like the whole weekend. So it was known that's squad pretty much. That they're squad together. And like I said, Ron Compton's cousin helped me put on the event. Him and Ron Compton's other cousin were both judges for that Requiem Edmund Aston battle. So I just don't see how, objectively look at how there could have been any bias in that judging.
Okay. So was that for you with the events? Was that one of your first judged battles when money was on the line?
Yeah, honestly, that was my first time throwing a full event. Like, I've had events in my city where I battle, but the thing is I'm the only battle rapper from my city that's done anything worth talking about battle rap wise. So it's been hard to throw full events in my city until I start rocking with P&R. Like, that's another big issue, that I have. Like, I've got more views and battled in more notable places than a lot of these cats that people put like in the starting five or the Western Conference leaders. Like, they put the little nigga next in the starting five, and I went to his city and 3-0'd him in his city. You know what I mean? It's just too clicky. Like, battle rap is too clicky for me right now. And I'm not like that. I'm not friends with the majority of these people. You know what I mean? Like I said, I knew Ron way before battle rap. I didn't get in this to make friends. I got in this to be competitive. And I've had battles on URL TV, the website. I battled, like I said, my jungle battles, they came out on URL. My first ever King of the Dot battle did 10,000 views on Ground Zero. You know what I mean? So I've done a lot more than a lot of these cats. And they all want to claim spots and put their homies in certain spots. And it's like, yo, I mean, if y'all really feel like that, I know we're supposed to be moving as a unit west, but if y'all want to exclude me, y'all can come get the issue. That's only the way I feel, because it's like, yo, I've been putting in work longer than a lot of these cats. A lot of people don't know, me and Geechee Gotti were supposed to battle before he ever got popping. But as far as the money-wise, I haven't seen too many people put up $2,000 a piece anywhere in any league for the most part. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen them put up that much bread almost anywhere.
Not where it's on the card where they're telling you like, hey, this battle here is for this right here. Like not worded like that, but behind the scenes, I know a lot of people who do bets behind the scenes on certain battles that they have with other people, and they do things like that behind the scenes. But nothing like where it's on a card where it's like, okay, this is for all the marbles. Like that's like, you know, you would think of like a short list of people like Jims versus Verb, you know, winner takes all. I mean, you could think about Verb and Rex where you had 10,000 on the line, you know, second round. Like you had things like that, but nothing where it was branded like that for a card. Like, hey, this is one of the battles.
Especially because both MCs put up the money themselves. It wasn't like other people coming up with the money for them. Both of them dudes willingly put up that on their own will, out of their own pocket, and I salute both of them dudes for doing that, because that's you know what I mean, that's investing in your career for real right there.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. No, it's definitely a fact. I want to ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Because you're one of the people, and it's rare you find this in battle rap. Normally when you have battle rappers, normally they just want to battle. They don't really want to do anything else. They're not really trying to expand their brand or anything. They just battle. And it's very rare that you get somebody who will actually be a battle rapper and can actually throw a full event, but actually battle on the event that they're throwing. Like that's a lot of multitasking. Like, are you somebody who enjoys the business and actually running events more so than battling, or is it for you like a balance of both where you enjoy doing both equally?
I'll be honest, I don't enjoy as much coordinating and putting on the events. I do like putting on for people. I do like giving people opportunities and being able to create a platform, although the stress is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing so much crazy last-second stuff for that event, like, because they waited to the last second to book Real Deal's tickets and Gray Fox ticket, like, I had to end up going and picking up Real Deal from L.A. the day before, and then I had to pay extra for Gray Fox, you know what I mean, to get a rental car to drive from L.A. and whatnot, you know what I mean? And I didn't have to because it wasn't in the contracts, but because I wanted the event to go smoothly and to go the right way, you know, I did all those extra things on top of trying to write and memorize and do all that. So I don't enjoy it as much, but I do like being able to give people an opportunity. And to be honest, like I said, I feel like I was kind of forced in that position because so many people want to overlook me. Like, there's half of y'all cats in that Western Conference and the Westrospect group didn't even know who I was until I threw this event. But it's crazy because I've been co-signed by Daylight, I've been co-signed by Disaster, Lush One, Thesaurus, now Real Deal, and I've got more views than the average cat from any of these leagues, like with the exception of like the Geechees or the B Dots. You know what I mean? I've got more views and done more notable things than a lot of these cats, but you know what I mean? They don't show that same love. They don't want to. What's crazy is I've actually got more East Coast people that are trying to put on for me and get me on a New York stage, and I've got West Coast people pushing me.
I have seen that before out here. I will say one thing, because we're talking about the whole Western Conference. And recently we did on this show, I had a show strictly for creating a list. And the list was going to be specifically for naming like the people who were right now ready. Now, one thing with the list was how I was running it was I wanted to have people who, if I said your name, there was no questioning, everybody agreed. Now, the reason I do things like that as far as making those kind of lists is because a lot of times when you have these long debates about somebody, like I'll mention a name and, you know, everybody will be like, oh, yeah, I'm good. And you have that one person to say, oh, well, I don't like their delivery, or they joke too much, or they don't have enough big battles, or I need to see more. You know, you get those type of responses. And I feel like a lot of times it'll come from like one person, and that'll be an opinion for that one person. But most of the time, if you go into another circle, people will be like, oh, no, this dude's crazy. This dude's the shit. Like, this dude needs to be on all these cards. And so for me, I feel like when I come to unanimous picks for certain people as far as are you ready to get on these stages, a lot of times it's more so to make sure that, okay, when you had all these different opinions and all these different biases and all these different egos on the line at one time, these were the people that they came together and said, okay, we can agree on these people. Now, if you want to debate it after the fact and add somebody on there, I'm with it, because there were a lot of people we didn't mention. But at the same time, there were a lot of people that probably shouldn't have been mentioned. And I feel like yourself, you weren't mentioned. There are actually a couple other people who were not mentioned, who, you know, for whatever reason, whether it was we just didn't get to it or somebody said, no, they're not there yet. But I feel like when it comes to yourself, I feel, because you've been around for a minute. You're not somebody who's newer to battle rap. You've been around for a minute, putting in work and doing your numbers. I feel like this new wave right now, they show respect to the older wave, the previous wave. Like if you're talking about your Daylights, Disasters, Danny's, and all them kind of people, the Billy Boondocks, all that type, right? There's respect there. But then there's also another side of it where it's like, you know, we here now, we feel like we will kill y'all. So it's like a competition aspect too. So I feel like a lot of times when people don't get mentioned, it's not necessarily to say that you're not worthy of it. I feel like now people are just getting to a point where they're seeing this new wave battling each other so much, they're getting accustomed to this wave, that anything that was before that or anything that's not a part of that wave, they're probably not going to give the same type of consideration. Like I've mentioned Next on the phone. Most everybody said yes, and we had one person that said, well, I've never watched Next battle. And to me, that's crazy, because he's one of the, you know, rising young stars of the West. He's still very young. He still has a lot of, you know, room to grow and has a lot more time to grow. So it's like, I feel like when people get put in certain boxes, whether it's like, oh, well, they battle in this league, so that doesn't really count. Or, oh, well, this league doesn't really have, you know, subscribers like this, so how am I supposed to know? Like, nobody's going to see him. And it's like, I feel like if you're good enough, I feel like you'll get mentioned. I feel like somebody will see you. But at the same time, I do feel like people like yourself and others who put in the work should be given a little more respect when it comes to certain lists. Like, I don't feel like if you're not good enough, you're not going to get battles like Real Deal. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting those battles. Real Deal is somebody who's going to rock out on main event stages. Has classics on what many people believe is the number one league in battle rap. So to me, it's like, I feel like maybe it's just the bridging of the gap right now where it's like, okay, maybe for you, it may take you to have to battle more people within the quote unquote Western Conference circle, which really Western Conference is meaning just all West. Now, there are people who are cliquish. There are people I shouted out the Western Conference in my battle.
Like in my battle, I got a bar where I was showing love to the Western Conference, but that's like I said, my gripe is like I got love for all these cats. You know what I mean? I'll push Geechee Gotti. I'll push, you know what I mean, I'll push all these cats for the West. But you know what I'm saying? All I ask is, yo, can I get the same love when I'm doing things that are respectable?
Yeah, I feel like, okay, I'll say it like this. Once your battle with Real Deal drops, because that'll be a battle where I feel like people are actually going to watch. They'll, okay, this is Real Deal, and this is one of our West songs. Okay, let's go ahead and check this battle. I feel like that'll probably get the ball rolling. It should have already been there, but we already understand how a lot of people are here in the West. And with battle rap here, we're still building. We're still in the process of building. And a lot of times people feel like, okay, well, if you're not battling on this league, if you're not battling this person, if this name, you know what I'm saying, you're not battling this person, or if you had a battle with this person and you didn't do good, well, that erases everything you did beforehand, which is wild to me. But those type of things happen a lot. And so I feel like this Real Deal battle, I've heard, again, good things. I've heard great things about every battle, for real. I didn't really hear too many bad things about the event at all, like as far as battles are concerned. But as far as your battle with Real Deal, I heard it was a nice battle, close battle. You know what I'm saying? Definitely came down to the last round. So I feel like that might get the ball rolling in your favor, where people might actually be able to see you in the light that you're saying that you feel you should be seen in, because you definitely have the skill. It's not like you're lacking in skill. I feel like maybe it's just people's awareness of you.
Yeah, like that's what blows me away is the awareness, you know what I mean? Like how are they so crazy about the little boy next, but the one battle that he got smoked in is the one that they just so happen to neglect. You feel me? That's like you said, that's the way a lot of these cats are out here on the West. You know what I mean? It's a little bit cliquish, and you know what I mean, they're gonna overlook what they're not really, you know what I mean, what's not a part of their immediate circle a lot of the time, unless there's like some major talk around it.
And another thing too with battle rap, and I noticed this a lot. We had this conversation on the show a few times. A lot of times it's not even about you winning or losing battles. You could get bodied in a battle. But I've noticed something with battle rap. If you were more entertaining than the other person, even if you got your ass whooped, if you were more entertaining, the fans will not care about the person who won the battle. They'll care about the one who entertained them. And that's how battle rap has become now, where it's more about the entertainment value than it is about skill. At one time, it was about your skill. If you weren't skilled, you couldn't – at one time, if you weren't skilled enough, you couldn't even battle. Like, you were laughed at. You were left out the circle, period. You know what I'm saying? That's the era I grew up on. And nowadays, it's all about the entertainment. So that's why wins and losses to people don't really matter as much, because it's like, okay, well, you beat him. That's cool. But I want to watch this guy more. And I feel like that's where, happens out here a lot, too.
I'm definitely not focused so much on wins and losses. The biggest victory I take from that Real Deal battle is the fact that in the interview, post-interview, he goes on camera and he says, yo, I wouldn't want to judge that battle. You know what I mean? That means me as a battler, I left doubt in my opponent's mind as to whether he won or lost that battle. You know what I mean? And creating that type of footage, you know what I mean, for people to debate and talk about, and to where you've got both MCs have two flawless performance with no chokes and good reaction all throughout the whole battle. You know what I mean? You can't ask for more out of footage. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I want to ask you this because P&R is a league where pretty much it has roots in most of California, pretty much now. I mean, Sacramento, here where I'm at, they have roots here. Obviously, you guys just expanded to Bakersfield. You guys have divisions everywhere in the Bay. I mean, you guys have divisions almost everywhere. With P&R, do you feel that, or is it your goal to build P&R to the point where it's respected enough where when people battle on the league, it's not just another battle, where it's more so like, no, this has meaning, this has value. If you battle here, this counts against you. Because it's sad, but there are a lot of leagues where if you battle there, people are like, okay, you win or lose there, it doesn't matter. But there are other leagues where if you lose there, it's like, oh, shit, okay, maybe you're not who we thought you were. So is that your goal with P&R?
100%, man. Like, that's like another reason why I was so upset with the way things went down, because I'm trying to repair. I know that there's been some tarnishing on the image of P&R, and I'm trying to repair and build relations because I'm so cool with so many people from different, you know what I mean? I'm cool with Requiem. You know what I mean? I'm cool with Ron Compton. I have no, that's why and my goal, that's why I booked Patron, you know what I mean, from AHAD North. That's why I booked Requiem. That's why I booked Ron Compton, was because I was attempting to bridge a gap between P&R and these other places. Like, even when it came to Ron Compton, when his name first got mentioned, there was previously an issue between the Riot and P&R. So when I brought up Ron Compton's name, they're like, oh, well, he's Riot. And I was like, no, that's my nigga. I'm booking him regardless. You know what I mean? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's my fam. I'm booking him. And those were the type of, I attempted to get P&R on that big summit that just got announced, with all the leagues battling. You know what I mean? Ron had reached out to me, and I was trying to convince the league owners to do it. I don't really want to say the reasons why so much, because of any type of beef or anything like that. I think it was more so just the league P&R cats not understanding the overall goal of what Ron was trying, or what they were all trying to do with that collective event. When it comes down to it, that was my main goal, was to bridge gaps. You know what I mean, and erase that whole stigma that said that sits above P&R right now. I feel that's one of the biggest issues with why people like Rubba Tung or Gray Fox, why we can't expand or get our names a little bit bigger, is because people are like, yo, those are P&R cats. You know what I mean? They ain't faced nobody, they ain't battled nobody, woo woo. Which is crazy, you know what I mean? I don't even, like, I barely considered myself a P&R battler within, like, the last 6 months, because, like I said, I started off battling in places like the Jungle and King of the Dot. I battled in Battle of the Zay. I battled in, what is it called? It's in Vallejo. It's not even really popping anymore. I'm blanking on the name of the league. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When you said Ron is well-traveled, that's what I'm saying. I understand, bro. I've been to San Diego and battled in Requiem City. I battled in Hollywood. I battled in downtown L.A. I battled at the Bunker. I battled in Fresno, Selma, Santa Cruz, Stockton. You know what I mean? I could go on. I battled everywhere, bro. So that's why I say that when it comes to complaining about crowds, it's like, you're going to come across different crowds no matter where you go. You just got to try to, you know what I mean, try to prepare the best you can.
Oh, yeah, nah. That's
What is if I can ask the one question, what is the perception you have of P&R?
So I'm a little bit different than the average battle rap fan. I've been watching battle rap and battle rap related things since the 90s. Like, basically, I was a kid, and I remember my family that was in the East Coast used to always send me ciphers and battles. So for me, I get my hands on anything battle rap, I'm watching it. So I remember watching a lot of P&R battles and just didn't know it was P&R. I remember watching a lot of battles from P&R. And my perception of P&R right now is, with all the divisions that are had, for me right now, I want to, I don't want to answer your question with a question, but my perception would be that there's so many divisions, but is there one central point? Like, if you had, okay, say for instance AHAT, that's like a comparable situation where you have
Vegas
a league.
is the central point. Yeah,
but like with P&R, you just started Bakersfield. Obviously, you guys are trying to get that, the ball rolling. I'm in Sacramento, so for me, I always felt like maybe Sacramento was, but then they said no, Sacramento's like number 2 or 3, and I'm like, okay, well then what is the league? Because I feel like that has to be established so that when battles are taking place, people understand, okay, this is the foundation, this is the home for P&R. So when people come there, they understand, okay, this is where the major push comes from. Because when you have battles in other divisions, it's not that they don't matter. It's not that they don't count, because they do. It's battle rap. It does count. If you're taking the battle, it counts. But to the average everyday fan, if they seen P&R Bakersfield, they're going to be like, Bakersfield? I thought y'all was in Sacramento, or I thought you guys were in the Bay Area, or, Stockton or somewhere like that. So I feel like P&R, it'll be finding out where the home is going to be. Like, where are you guys going to build that's going to say, okay,
I mean,
this is where the big dogs play.
They have a home. They technically started in Selma, California, but they're based pretty much in Fresno. That's where it all started, which is in the Central Valley down here about 2 hours from Bakersfield. That is the actual, which the league owner is Senna from Selma, California. He started the whole thing, and Power and Respect has been around for a long time. I used to not rock with Power and Respect. I looked at Power and Respect as like, yo, these niggas is off-brand, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? But they slowly built and started getting more respectable battlers. And the first time they ever reached out to have me over there was one of their top battlers, Gray Fox. You know what I mean? That was the first battle I had on Power and Respect. And I earned their respect with that battle, and ever since then, that's why I kept rocking with them. But to answer your question specifically, Fresno would be like the home.
Fresno.
I plan on turning Bakersfield into the main stage. I know that QVD plans on doing some crazy big things with the 916 up there in Sacramento too. Right now, I'm currently working on distribution for battle rap with Sony Orchard and my boy Kev Shiloh through a company called Audio Print. I've already got my own distribution for my music through Sony Orchard and Audio Print, as well as being distributed in the prison catalogs as well. And I'm working to get P&R that same deal to where we can start getting a little bit higher percentage on the monetization of videos and all that other stuff. So I'm trying to turn P&R into something bigger. You know what I mean? I'm definitely trying to contribute and in any way I can. That's the only reason I'm throwing events, is because I'm in a position to where I have plugs. If I didn't have plugs and have connects like that, I would just stick to battling. But I have so many plugs, it only made sense for me to start, you know what I mean, putting on events.
Yeah, I would say another thing too, and this is one thing I always say with leagues when they get started, because now with battle rap, there's so many leagues. Like, you can go in one city and there'd be 10 leagues in one. Like, it gets crazy nowadays, like, with just so many battle rap leagues and so many battle rappers, because it's like battle rap has gone global and it's growing every single day. One thing that I feel with leagues, what they have to do more of is build their own talent. A lot of times you'll have leagues that pop up and they never build their own talent. They just kind of get talent from other leagues, put a card together, and it's a crazy card, and it's a great card, and the fans will appreciate seeing all the crazy battles, but it's not yours. It is not your talent. These aren't the people who you built up. Like somebody like Next, I feel like if P&R started getting more people like him, not saying everybody has to have his skill set or has to have his entertainment value or anything that he has skill set wise, but be able to.
They do.
No, I believe it. I definitely believe it. I'm just saying, like, it would have to be to a point where you're pushing more people like that, because ultimately with battle rap, and people on the West everybody has a different take on what they want to do, but it seems like the consensus thought is, hey, we're trying to build here, build our battlers up here, and then get them over to URL, because that's where the main stage is. That's where everybody is. That's where all the subscribers are. That's where the Summer Madness is and the Gnomes. You know, it has a history to it, so everybody wants to get there. Everybody wants to battle in front of Smack. Like, that's a lot of people's goal, and I'm not going to shit on them, because that's where a lot of people started messing with battle rap in the first place, was like Smack DVD, so that has a certain history to it. So I feel like people would just have to start seeing more homegrown talent within P&R get built up to a point where they can get pushed to a URL, like when URL's out here for the PGs and you start getting more people on those cards, and it's like, okay, this guy's from P&R. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. You guys have anybody else like this? Okay, you got another dude like that. Okay, cool. Like, a lot of leagues, they don't have that, and it's like you'll push one guy will be the face, and then everybody else kind of gets slept on because they're either not getting the same promo or they're not getting the same kind of, like, respect when it comes to giving them views or, watching them. Maybe they're not getting the right look. And then it happens with the battle rappers. A lot of battle rappers have to pick the right matchups. They can't just jump on a battle just because they want to battle. They have to pick a matchup that's actually going to showcase their talent in a certain way. Like if you battled somebody who was all bars, no performance, well, your next battle, you need to battle somebody who's all like you need to show yourself against every kind of battle rapper. You can't just put yourself in a box. I feel like that's a major problem on the West. People just battle the same kind of person, and there's no growth because you're only battling one person. So you're only skilled and trained and, conditioned to battle one kind of battle rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? I think
I think
the reason for that is that a lot of these dudes get scared of certain types of matchups. Like, I believe
talk about it.
I believe a lot of these bar-heavy cats are scared to battle funny battle rappers. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. A battle we didn't really get to touch too much on was the Patron versus Gray Fox, which will completely debunk the Ron Compton theory, because Gray Fox is P&R battler at home, and Patron got way more crowd reaction than Gray Fox did. Patron killed it. Like, and I believe that I would actually know that Gray Fox wanted that matchup. And I think that it's actually going to make Gray Fox grow because he had never stood in front of nobody like Patron other than me, you know what I mean? And that could really give him a run for his money, you know what I mean? And Patron, Gray Fox is my dude, but I feel like Patron edged that battle, you know what I mean? Like, Gray Fox got slept on a little bit by the crowd, believe it or not, in that joint. And it's gonna look probably a little more lopsided than it was. It was a close battle, but I feel like Patron took it. And I feel like a lot of dudes are scared of those type of matchups, you know what I mean, Patron-style matchups, because Patron can bar, too. That's the crazy thing, is he can bar, but he's got a super entertaining, funny element to his style, you know what I mean? And I think that, getting at your point, you know what I mean, dudes are scared or like, they might not say they're scared. They might be like, nah, that's a style clash. That's not good. That's not a good look. But in reality, they don't want to get whooped.
Yeah, trust me. I've said to a few people, like, there, when it comes to the competition, like at one time it was all about competition. Like, in order to be the best, you had to beat the best. If I could just put it simply and plainly, like that's what it was about at one time. Now it's not about that. It's like people just want to be in a box. Like, it's all about, well, it's gun bars this, or, well, no, I'm only going to battle this kind of person, or I only want the big name. And it's like, a lot of these people with names, like, they're not going to give you the kind of battle that somebody else who maybe say this person has a big name, but you have this other person who his name might not be as big, but he has the performance. He has fan base as far as where he's at, the league he's battling on, where you may be able to gain yourself new fans. I call it the JC approach. JC used to get shitted on a lot by URL fans. Oh, he lost to Tay-Rock. Oh, he got killed by K-Shine. He shouldn't be on this platform. I used to hear that all the time. I used to tell people, like, y'all are tripping. Like, he never got killed. But what he did was he said, fuck it. I'm going to go and travel. And JC went Houston. He went Virginia. He battled RBE. That was like his home league for a while. He went everywhere. He went everywhere. And it got to a point where, and people didn't understand it, he built a fan base in every single city he went to and was able to become a name on his own. He didn't have to rely on a league to go ahead and build his stock up. He did it by himself. To the point where, okay, now I've had all these battles. I've battled in different conditions. I went to everybody's home league. He's conditioned in the most hostile environment. So now when he's in New York, it's like, well, I'm at home. Like, I done been to other people's state, you know what I'm saying, and battle. And I feel like a lot of battle rappers, they just don't want to do that because they're just chasing this dream of URL. And it's like, well, everybody chases that dream. Not everybody makes it. So you have to be able to do the things that are going to work for you. You can't take the path that everybody else did. If you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and you're not getting a result, you have to change up and do something different. And so I do feel like the competition is one thing that really needs to go ahead and be like reasserted in battle rap. Like, if this is supposed to be the hottest person, like right now, to me, Geechee Gotti is the face of the West. People out here, if you're really trying to be the best, if you have not battled him and you feel like you're up there, you should be pushing for a battle like that. Or you should be pushing for a battle with somebody who has his rep from another region. You should not be pushing to just battle somebody who you, like, everybody feels you're better than, or you feel like you should be taking the battles where it's going to be a challenge for you. If it's not a challenge for you, why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no doubt.
There's a lot of things, but there's so many things with battle rap, man. God, I could have a whole show dedicated to talking about as I say, the fuckery in battle rap. There's a lot I could talk about, but
tons, I could go on for days about it.
Man, I wanted to ask you something. Your personal take for your career, or do you consider yourself somebody who's more so I hate saying it like this, but it's like the only way I can say. Are you the king of the dot style battler where your preference is to battle there? Or are you more so like a URL kind of guy where it's like, no, I would feel better over there? Or are you somebody who just says, no, wherever they book me or wherever I can get over to compete, I'm there?
Anywhere you want to book me, I'm ready to go, man. Like, I've done well in King of the Dot, and I've also not done well in King of the Dot. The times when I did the worst, though, in King of the Dot, the one bad performance I had in King of the Dot, I was battling in a room full of battle rappers who look at me as competition. That's like, even I battled Urban in the King of the Dot Ground Zero Grand Prix. First 2 rounds, I was smoking his boots, giving the boy the issue. And his mans ended up interrupting me in my 3rd round. He ended up getting the decision in the battle. 2 judges gave it to him, and 1 judge still gave me the battle. And the deciding judge was actually Urban's homie. You know what I mean? You never know what you're going to run into. You never know what you're going to run into in these situations. You just got to prepare. That's all I can say is try to prepare. Like Patron said, at some point you expect to come across fuckery in this game. The best you can do is try to prepare for it.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. So I want to ask this, because I ask everybody who comes on here, every battle rapper that comes on here, I have to ask you this. Hit list. People who either you respect them, so you want to battle them, or people you just feel like, man, this person is not as great as y'all feel they are. I'll watch them. Anybody. It doesn't matter how big their name are, small. It doesn't matter where they battle at. 3 people that you really want to battle. Who would those 3 people be?
That I want to, like, I'll say this. I owe the Spot a battle. I owe Spot a battle. We were supposed to battle.
Oh, that'd be nice.
We were supposed to battle in the Riot a while back, but I was booked to battle SM on P&R and Clutch, and I had already done like 5 battles that year. Plus, I had like 3 more booked. So I was like, "Yo, fam, like I'm just way crazy, too overbooked. I can't do it." But whenever you want to run that back, you know what I mean, we could run it. You know what I mean? So I respect Spot. Like, my personal opinion, Spot has the best pen out of the Riot. Geechee Gotti is the face, and Geechee Gotti has the personality and charisma. But when it comes to pen, my opinion is Spot is the best pen out of that whole movement.
I heard. You ain't gonna get me to disagree. Spot's pen is crazy. His pen is ridiculous. So you're not gonna get me to argue that.
Yeah, no.
Shout out to the Spot, man.
I feel like he gets, shout out to him. I feel like he gets slept on, like crazy slept on, because
a lot.
In a sense, he's like me. You know what I mean? I know Ron Compton mentioned on the show, like I really respected what I heard Ron say at the end of yesterday's segment. I didn't get to hear that until this morning. So a lot of like my posts and stuff online were before hearing that interview. But I did hear him, you know what I mean, mention, you know what I mean, that I'm a real humble cat, you know what I mean, and how I wasn't going to drop my battle. Probably I won't, you know what I mean. I'm dropping Patron and Gray Fox next, and then mine. And spots like me, I mean, we don't speak up. We stay quiet, you know what I mean. We go, we battle, we do our job, and then we leave, you know what I mean. But we don't make enough noise. And that's why we get overlooked, is because we don't make enough noise. And that's partially our fault, you know what I mean? Like, I should have been doing stuff like this, like reaching out to you and being on this Blog Talk Radio, you know what I mean? Like, there's things that we can do to increase it, but at the same time, it has to do with people feeling entitled to certain positions and overlooking. Like I said, in my opinion, Spot's pen is ridiculous crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. But yeah, you said you want the Spot in the battle. That's one name. I need two more names. It don't matter. It could be a legend. Man, look, if you want to dig Cassidy about whatever he hiding at, you want to body Cassidy, man. Like whoever, it don't matter who it is.
I want to battle another
shit.
person. I'm another person I want to battle, who I think is fire, is Young Cannon.
Ooh.
I think
he'll battle you too. Young Cannon travel.
I think Young Cannon's a monster, and
I got to see him live in April. He's crazy.
I'm not like a lot of these other cats. I'm not looking for, oh no, I need to battle Daylight. No, I want to go after somebody that I know is going to try to rip my head off. Just like, that's why, you know what I mean, like Real Deal. He didn't slack one bit against me. You know what I mean? He gave me bars. The boy went crazy. And that's what I want. I want to go against people who are literally going to try to rip my head off. Now one more. This is one I want to say, like, people who I think are a little bit, somebody I think might be a little bit gassed. Now it has to be somebody that I've watched, because I've seen like a lot of names like Diesel pop up, you know what I mean? But I haven't watched enough Diesel, me personally, to give an opinion. But someone who, and I saw him specifically go in to Ron Compton's live feed right after, and he said he wants the best, you know what I mean, the top P&R cat, and that's Yak the Ripper. I feel like his pen is a little bit overrated, and I feel like he can come get it.
Of all the days, Yak is not on the phone. Oh, man, Yak the Ripper versus Afta. Set it up.
Yeah, man, like I have no issue doing that because, you know what I mean, I specifically noticed his comment in Ron Compton's live feed, like, you know what I mean, like when that was another reason why I had such an issue, because people were like, fuck Bakersfield, woo, 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 woo. That nigga Yak was like, yo, fuck them. They can, you know what I mean, give me they top nigga. Nigga, come get it. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like right now, there's nobody in P&R that's battled a name like Real Deal. Nobody. And went bar for bar with him and got the opponent to say, like, yo, I don't know, I might not have won. Nobody. You know what I mean? Not Urban, not Eskim, none of them. You know what I mean? I was the first person that anybody that had a debatable with Gray Fox. I'm just saying, I washed him badly. So I'm just saying. So I mean, if that's one person that I'm like, all right. But as far as, like I said, the Spot, I respect the Spot. I want to battle Spot just out of competitive sport, and Young Cannon. That would be like an ideal matchup. Young Cannon would be like, I think that would be crazy.
You got all three of them battles. Like, your next three battles with them three people, that's fucking insane. Because, Like every one of them is gonna give you like 3 crazy rounds. Like we already know the spot and what he's capable of. Young Cannon, his work speaks for itself. And Yak, I mean, as much as people have to say about him, he don't cheat the people. Like he comes with 3 rounds every single time, and he always puts, that effort in there as well as away from the battle too. All the stuff he does with the trolling and things of that nature to kind of promote and get the battle, more notoriety and stuff. So I definitely feel like those 3 matchups would be very, very dope. But there's one thing I wanted to say, and this is something Real Deal said, and it's funny you just battled him. And when Real Deal said this about himself, it leaped out to me because this is what reminds me of you. He said when he was asked, like, does it bother you that you don't get, like, on the Summer Madnesses and the Gnomes, that you're not getting their respect from the fans? And he said, well, for me personally, I'd rather have the respect from my peers. And as long as I'm getting the respect from my peers, I don't mind it. Like, I battle Averb. Averb slacks off in a lot of battles, but when he battled me, he came with 3 rounds. When I battle people, they don't slack on me. They come prepared. And he's like, that's the ultimate marker. You can say whatever you want. I'm trash. I'm not checking for me. But when you battle me, you're not coming here slacking because you'll get cooked. You'll get back. And he was saying, like, that's the mark of respect. So for you, that's how I kind of feel like you're in that box. It's like, okay, people may not bring you up. People may not say anything about you. But
they'll never.
Nobody's coming there to fuck around with you. Like, even Real Deal came there prepared with 3 rounds. So it's like, that's where I feel like you're at right now with battle rap. It's like, your peers give you your respect. Even if the bands and the people don't want to mention you, you're getting that respect from your peers. So.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah. And that's why I say more so than my peers, I'd say the people that are above me give me more respect. And that's what means more to me than, like I said, most of the people that I'm dealing with that are on my level, they really don't show me all that much crazy respect until the battle. Once we battling, yeah, but outside of that, they try their hardest to overlook me. But then, like, Real Deal on camera went and said that the whole environment, the vibe, the whole event was better in Bakersfield than it was in, the URL event where he battled Reaper Rel. Like, those are the type of things I'm like, yo, that means a lot to me. That's what I really don't care, about the people who are on my level. My peers are hating on me more than showing love. It's the people who are above me that are like, yo, this dude, I fuck with this dude. There's not hardly any battle rappers. And I got a song with Daylight right now. Most of these cats, they ain't got no music with Daylight or anybody that's notable like that. These niggas aren't busting moves. They're just battling. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, man. But I definitely want to make sure, you understand, like, if nobody else is saying that to you, understand that there are a lot of us who do respect your work. Form of mentions where we're going to say, oh, well, he's better than this guy or this guy. But we know, we all know who are the people who, okay, if you go in there fucking around, you're going to get embarrassed. So don't go in there fucking around. We know who those people are without even having to say them. We know who they are. And a lot of times they're not the most talked about people. These are the people who go everywhere, they grind, they put their head down, they put on a show, and then they, like you said, they go on about their business. And you know better than to go over there and bullshit with them. Even for 1 round, you know better than to do that. So, definitely got to salute you for all the stuff you're doing. I got to salute you, too, for what you're doing with P&R, like with Bakersfield. Like, first card to have Real Deal on your very first card, that's a big look. That's dope as shit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely got to salute you.
That's much appreciated.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. But, before we get up out of here, though, man, I want to give you a chance to do any shout-outs that you may have, and then also plug everything you have going on, whether it's business, battle rap, social media, all that good stuff, so that the people can go ahead and fuck with what you got going on.
Man, I want to shout out the Power and Respect Battle League, QVD, Center, Rubba Tung. They have embraced me as part of the family at this point. So I want to thank them for allowing me to branch off of what they've built and create something for my city, to give back to the culture of my town. in a place where we don't have nothing like that. So I'm very appreciative that they've allowed me to do that. I want to shout out my dude Jay Fox. I don't know how many people are gonna know who I'm talking about, but he's the dude who started the Jungle. He basically gave me my first battle ever. Even though he tried to set me up, I still want to shout him out because I was able to rise above that, and it was still an opportunity, and it was a blessing. That I was able to go much further. I want to shout out Ron Compton. And the Riot team over there. Because they brought me out. Like I said, they had me over to the Riot. It's still all love. I got no real real ill feelings. Like I'm not personally like hurt or mad outside of battle rap. It's not like I'm gonna be like, hey nigga, we got an issue. Like, nah, just like Ron was in his feelings, I was in mine a little bit about a few things. But I want to shout them out over there. KP. I got love for them cats. Who else? I want to shout out my boy Slick Young. He helped me put on the event, as well as Chris Ozuna. They helped me out a lot as far as booking hotels and coming up with money to help pay for stuff and whatnot like that. So I want to shout them out because I couldn't have put on that event without their help. I want to shout out my distribution, audio print. They do a lot for your boy. As far as what I've got going on, I've got a mixtape that's just about finished. I've got an album out right now on iTunes. It's called Something You Could Feel. It's on, Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, all that. All the major platforms. I've got a lot of new music coming out. So I want the people to stay tuned for that. Music videos, mixtapes. I've got an album that's a portion of the way through. Like I said, I've got a few notable little features like Daylight and whatnot. So, and I think that people would actually enjoy my music compared to the average battle rapper because I make music. I don't just spit bars. I got a lot of melodies on my hooks and whatnot. A lot of real feel good stuff like that. Remind you of like early '90s barbecue type music. You feel me? So I think that's why a bigger goal for a lot of us, is to go from battle rap into being an artist. I opened up for a lot of mainstream cats, and that's also been like I opened up for R.A. the Rugged Man and King Magnetic not too long ago, and they got to see me battle, and that's why I said like I've got people back east right now that are part of R.A. the Rugged Man squad who know Poison Pen, who are working to get me back east right now. To go battle on the stages. That's why I said I've got love back there and that came from music. I encourage a lot of these MCs out here, man, make music. It can benefit you as a battler a lot more than you may realize. The music it will help not structure, but stabilize your flow, your cadences and whatnot. All kinds of stuff, man. I don't know how many people out there do pay attention to battle rappers' music, but there's actually a couple that ain't too bad.
Oh, no, that's a fact. That's definitely a few out and whatnot. I want to say again, I appreciate you taking the time, calling up here. And any time that you're available, man, not even just for an interview. If you just want to call up and debate some hot topics, like anything. If you have a topic you want to call up and debate about, man, you're welcome on the show anytime.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, bro. Like I said, I'm going to definitely try to be more active as far as participating. I'm not going to be one of those dudes who cries about getting left out and then don't want to participate. So, I appreciate y'all letting me be a part of the show and bringing me on here to discuss everything that went down.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. Definitely appreciate you taking the time, and we're going to get you back up here soon.